Okay, here we are. Number 32. This is it. I've got Chris Keele on today, and the story is about to be amazing. I really mean it. This is a good one. Okay, folks. We're back out here in the craziness of it all, in the outdoors. I just had a phone call conversation with Chris. We just had our test. It worked. I'm stoked. And now, just for safety's sake, I'm plugging in my phone, and we are live and ready to go. Here we go. Let's see if we can get this to work. We can get this to be all set up correctly. Chris is here. I'm setting up in the most haphazard way. Unfortunately. All right, here we go. We're going to get it. Chris, give me 1 second, man. I'm having a bit of a technical difficulties at this moment. I mean, what's going on with my life? And you know what? Yes. All right, I'm bringing Chris on. I'm so sorry about that, guys. Go. Chris is coming back on. Oh, he's getting some spring water. Yeah, we definitely tried to set up. You know what? Let's just do it like this, and I'm gonna get it. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. I hope that you're doing well, and I hope wherever you are is going good for you, my friends. It's me. It's Paul Carpenter. This is episode 32. 32 of them, sirs and ladies. We have kicked butt, and we have taken some names. We've not let anything take us down, and we are continuing on the motion forward into a brand new existence. To all of you who are here watching live on the show, I am blessed to absolutely have you. The story you are going to get today, folks, is amazing. And I'm not just saying that, I mean it. I don't have the whole thing. Okay, that's okay. I'm gonna just do both of these put together like this. This is episode 32, guys. It's Chris Keele. The story you are about to hear is so cool. I mean, wow. Okay, here we go. I'm bringing on Chris now. Let's add him into the show. Let's start this thing off. Let's do this right. Here we go, folks. Oh my God, Chris Keele, episode 32. Here we go. On the other side with Paul Carpenter, my friend. Thank you for joining us today. There's some people already watching. Man, Chris, please tell us who you are, where you come from, what do you do? Let us know. I'm going to pause out, or I'm going to mute out here and there so I don't have any looping or anything like that. Here we go.
Sure. Firstly, Paul, I just want to say thanks for everyone watching at home. You all probably know that Paul's an absolutely amazing guy. I guess, where do I start? From the beginning, let's start about almost 10 years ago, or a little more than 10 years ago. So I actually started off.
Go all the way back. I want to know, like, exactly.
All the way back.
All the way. We're doing your whole life. Let's go all the way. Where were you born?
Well,
even tell me a little bit about your parents, like stuff like that. I want to know, like, the entirety of your story to where all the way to that big fall that happens, during COVID, and then where you are today and what's happening now, and all of it. We're going to run through it, but where did you come from? Where were you born?
So, just 9 months prior to 1986, my parents made love. I was a bastard child. So essentially, I'm literally a bastard child, born out of wedlock. And I grew up in Australia. I basically migrated when I was 2. So I spent my youth in Australia, in Western Australia. And essentially, it was a good childhood, raised by an English stepfather as well as my mom, who's Filipino. And Paul, it's like you're muted. It kind of feels unnatural. I want to hear you your responses.
Yeah,
So,
man, I'm sorry. Well, I'm happy you didn't hear that whole thing just fall down and everything go crazy just now. So,
yeah,
sorry.
I don't,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah,
I just don't. I sometimes I'm actually happy you have headphones in because
yeah,
most of the time when it doesn't, it loops, and the people who are listening, who are watching, it ends up looping for them, and I just mute
yeah.
it out and then come back. But
Oh,
yeah, we
perfect.
can do
Oh, we can
it.
just have a chat now. So, yeah. Well, that's why I wear the headphones. So,
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Let's go.
mm.
I mean, it obviously looks like you're professional at this, so.
Somewhat. I pretend to be.
Comparatively to me and my background,
Yeah, yeah. Out of nature. Yeah,
out of nature with a fence, yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I grew up in Australia, and I kind of had like a sheltered childhood, but at the same time, a quite difficult one because of the disparity between like Asian culture as well as being raised in a Western world. So my mom was always like really sort of
Now,
paranoid about
what part of
race.
Perth, like, is where you said you were
Perth,
born and raised? Perth, Western Australia?
no, I was born in Manila, and I grew up. Yeah, and I grew up in Perth. So 2 years when I was 2 years old, my mom brought me over with my stepdad, and yeah, as far back as I can remember, I think I was probably about 3 or 4 when I went to England, and that's as far back as my memories go. Um, yeah, I got no idea why. So yeah, I as a child, I was kind of like the troublesome child, the one that would be like really, really naughty, like do like stupid shit. Um, and like I remember like times where I would just like either make someone cry or I would be the one crying. Yeah, just a really naughty kid. There was this one time when we actually, it was me and my 4 cousins. We say 4 cousins, whatever, but we're really family friends. And we're just basically like lobbing these lemons at a tree, right?
Oh.
All of a sudden, something drops, right? Someone hits something in the tree, and the boys start running inside, except for me. I'm just looking. All of a sudden, these bees just go zzz, and they start stinging me. I'm running back inside the house. My mum comes out with a rolled up toilet, newspaper, starts whacking me. End up looking like the Michelin Man. So yeah, I was a naughty kid. I was one of those kids.
So, yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead if you wanted to go.
Yeah, so I guess after, like, I moved around primary school, and then I also moved around, in high school. I had about 5, 6 different high schools.
And what was that based on? Was that based on you being bad, or was that based on your mom moving around a lot?
A little bit of column A and a little bit of column B.
Okay,
So,
cool.
yeah, it's essentially because we had a family split when I was, through my high school years. My parents sort of got separated, or they separated, and whatever. I started getting into bad, influences, smoking weed, doing dumb shit, fucking vandalizing, all sorts of stuff, stealing, I was just like really sort of
And this
trying
is
to
what?
cry
You're
out
like
for attention.
You're like 17, 18, 16, 17, like around
Oh,
that
bro,
time?
it started at 14, like, oh, even at 12, like
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, no,
year eight,
sure. I mean, you
yeah,
were already in it, but I'm saying around that time. I figured this is, as you're growing up. Yeah. Right.
yeah. So from about 12 to 23, and then 23 I got locked up.
Oh, shit.
But I actually started cleaning up at around 18, right? Started cleaning up. I did like, what do you call it? At 19, I decided to become, what do you call it, celibate. Completely off drugs, no sex, no alcohol, nothing, right? No girlfriends. Yeah. And I started teaching dance to youth, like to pull them off the streets and stop them from getting into, getting into drugs and gangs and shit. Because I was into I was in gangs. Like,
So wait, hold on.
young.
When you were doing the street stuff and you were like the gang stuff, were you ever street performing or doing stuff like that with your dance? No. The dance was just a side thing that you did because it was just part of that culture and that idea.
Was competition. It was competition because I'm Filipino, and a lot of Filipinos dance professionally and just even for, just for street cred. So yeah, teaching kids to dance. But the ironic thing was I was both doing university and what's called college at the same time. For us, it's called TAFE. And while I was doing this, my friend was like, I started like getting like a huge phone debt from Vodafone, right? And my friend's like, oh, hey, why don't you come out to the clubs with me sometime, and then we'll go sell these pills. And we end up like fucking dealing like ecstasy. And it kind of tore me up in the middle because like I'm studying youth work. And I'm teaching these kids to come off the streets, and I'm also then now dealing in the clubs.
Now dealing on the streets.
Wow. No, not on the street. I'll deal in the clubs.
Right. Well, but still, dealing in the clubs or in the streets, but nonetheless, almost the absolute opposite of what you were teaching the kids not to do is what you are. What a dualistic, dunk in your own head, in your heart, like whoa,
Yeah.
So you get arrested, and how long do you go to jail for?
So I'd actually end up doing 2 years dealing until I got caught, and I ended up getting 18 months. Yeah, about two and a half years of dealing. So I was 19, 20, 21. Then I got arrested at 22, and then I got sent to prison at 23 because the court case was like at the end of that year. And then I did 18 months in maximum, and then gradually like worked my way down. So max, medium, minimum. Yep. Hey, Kelke, Warlord. Yeah, dude. Yep. But look, Australian prisons are like really smooth. Like honestly, like you think it's like fucking a playground. Like you get LED TVs, Xboxes, all that sort of shit.
What?
But I mean, it doesn't mean that it's not going to be hard for some people, because some people like get into the drugs and they get themselves into trouble and they get raped or they get fucked up, or they do some dumb shit to fuck their life up even more.
Okay, so you get out of jail, which has Xboxes and LED TVs.
Pretty much.
No, stop. It was prison. It wasn't fun.
Not to glorify it, but
it's glorifying, of course. But you get out of that, and then what happens? Like, did you go to some while you were there? Did you have some kind of like, okay, I'm gonna do this in my life. I'm gonna do something else, or I don't know.
Well, I just before we get into that, I wanna make note that my time in prison, I didn't spend like unwisely. I spent time like you could really do some dumb shit in prison. Like you could just sit there, do drugs, you can fight, you can gamble, you can fucking do all sorts of dumb shit. I didn't choose to do that. What I chose to do was like put my head down, study, read books about property, real estate, trading, anything financial, because really the whole reason why I got into prison was because I couldn't handle my own finances. And there was not an institution that would even teach you how to fucking handle your finances, even in prison. So I had to like learn all that shit on my own. Once I got out, I got back into doing an apprenticeship, and that's where it was going all right. Like I was working out, I was getting jacked, but people kept just knocking off my tools, and it got to a point where I got really frustrated, and I'm like, fuck this. I'm going to the Philippines. I'm going to like ditch everything and head off to my home country and really, make something of myself. So I packed up, sold everything, and I fucking flew to the Philippines in 2013. And basically threw the sand over my shoulders again. So basically when you leave prison, you grab a pile of dirt and you throw it over your shoulders to signify like never again. So doing that again as well, leaving Australia, was another pivotal moment for me. And so got to the Philippines, wanted to start my hone in on my entrepreneurial spirit, and I only had $2,000 in my pocket, and I invested stupidly in trying to make an e-commerce business, buying t-shirts and sending it back to Australia. It didn't work at all, so I'd lost all that money because no one would fucking buy it because I didn't know what I was doing at the time. So I was like, okay, well, what do I know best? Okay, I know about real estate. I know about photography. Let me try and sell properties, right? could not sell properties for shit. So what I ended up doing was, after I picked up a few clients, I'm like, I convinced my best mate at the time to lend me some money for a photography camera kit, and I bought like $5,000 worth of gear, and I said, hey, let's try to do Airbnb. From that point forward, took us about 3 months. I was with my wife at the time, or girlfriend, and took us about 3 months to start to build a portfolio, and I suggested this to my other clients, and started working out really well. So we built a decent portfolio of
Okay, that went too quickly. That went too quickly.
Okay, I can go back, rewind.
So yeah. Go back a little bit, right to the beginning of that story. So there's this part where you're like, okay, what am I good at? I know I've studied real estate like crazy for the last year or 2 years, whatever it is. I'm pretty good at photography, and I wanted to gather clients to try and sell real estate, but that wasn't working.
Yeah,
And
because I couldn't sell for shit.
right, no, I'm just trying to, you're hustling, you're trying to run around. Hey, look, buy this house. Nobody's buying shit. Nobody's buying your shirts. You're like, what the fuck I'm doing? And then you say to a friend, I mean, I know, but I just want to qualify everything, because it just went from like, oh, I went from a friend, and 3 months later, ding, things were great. It's like, whoa, wait. So,
Oh, good.
So hold on. So basically, you say to your friend, hey, let me get like $5,000. And what we're going to do is, I'm going to take photography. I'm going to do as good as I can to make these real estate places that I'm trying to sell. I'm going to convince these people to let me use their homes as Airbnbs, and we're going to supplement income into their houses, into them, while I supplement income to myself. And I'm going to run around and go to all of my clients and take all these cool photos and start making Airbnbs. And within a 3-month period of that thought, you go into this next process of your life.
Pretty much. So 3 months.
Shit. I just want to say
3 months, 3 Airbnbs. Yeah. Thanks.
3 months, 3 Airbnbs. Listen to I want everybody to listen to this. Holy mother of all, this is a dope story already. What a change in his life. What the, oh my God. Okay, so 3 Airbnbs through 3 separate different clients.
No, all the one client.
Oh my God, even better, dude. Wow, what a luck strike. What a straight bunk, like dunk, yeah. Like out of nowhere. Okay,
always go for the whales.
Okay, so you do this thing, photography, 3 things, that takes off, and then what's the process of what happens from that point?
So pretty much, it was basically just learning and understanding the operations and whatnot, and then I had to go and find a mentor. So once it was running nicely, I spent my time sort of growing, utilizing the 2 different skill sets I have, which is cleaning the Airbnbs and managing it, and then there's the photography. I use the photography to get my foot in the door. So I started building a small portfolio in the Philippines, ended up finding a mentor. And once I found my 2 mentors, same company, these 2 guys, and I'm still really grateful for them. I still speak to them to this day, Vince and Dave. They taught me quite a bit, and I was like, you know what? I'm ready to go back to Australia. I'm going to leave this here with you guys, with my sister, and my sister can continue on with the business in the Philippines. It's called VIP Stays, by the way.
It's called what? It's called what?
VIP Stays.
VIP Stays, and it's still running to this day.
No. VIP Stays.
VIP Stays, and it's running to this day.
Yeah, you'll still see Facebook, Facebook profiles, all these different VIP Stays locations. I don't personally run them. I let my sister run them, and another business partner, we're possibly going to have a merger, because he happened to name his company called VIP Stays as well just recently. He didn't realize that we'd been running it for a long time, so there was a bit of clash. So,
oh, whoa.
So, yeah, but no, that's fine. We're good friends anyway. So I was like, I laughed at him because it's like, VIP Stays. Hang on, wait, that's my business.
Oh wow! And now, yeah. and is he in another country? And
no, same country.
Whoa.
Same country. So I just had the branding. I kind of like, it was really run and gun, really gritty. no registrations and whatever. But I built it under another company name, so which is Eta.
We just had a little misfreeze. If you don't mind repeating what you said.
Yeah, so I had it under under my mentors. We shared our portfolios together, so I just merged it into this. Yeah. So there's that. Then I end up moving back to Australia with my wife. We got married, and
now, if you don't mind, you have how many clients at this time before moving? And also, if you don't mind, what is your roundabout residual monthly that you're now sustaining because you have these clients and the thing's working well, the machine's moving?
At the time? At that time?
Yeah, sure. At that time.
So it was about 100. It was about 2,000 in net. So after expenses, I'm making about 2,000 a month. I mean, it's decent. It's not too bad.
And so, from your point of view,
that's up to 7 units. Yeah. It's Australian dollars, yeah.
So okay, we're talking about now. You went from that.
Oh, sorry, no. It's 3,000. 3,000. Because it's 120K PHP. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. 7 units.
But what we're saying here is that it went from that 5,000 3-month period that went well, and then now we're talking 7 years later before you go to Australia, before you move back.
No. So I only spent 2 years. in the Philippines.
So within that 2-year period, right? So within that 2-year period, you find your big whale, you do your thing, you hope, and then you go up. I'm now going back to Australia with this newfound knowledge and information and everything that I have growing, and $3,000 a month residually that I can now go and live off of and start this whole thing all over again.
Pretty much.
Just wanted to clarify. Let's go. Yeah.
So that residual income, I basically handed off to my sister because obviously she needed, to earn an income as she's managing the units, right? And we were also about to pick up like a bunch of units in El Nido, about 30 villas, something like this, something crazy. And I started doing photography for a certain client there. Well, actually the same client, one of the big clients, and we did fairly well there. And so I moved back to Australia. As I'm getting into the taxi, as I'm leaving the taxi to jump out and get into the airport, my camera bag gets stolen. $5,000 worth of gear. All right, and could be because I was drowsy.
As you're going to Australia,
as I'm leaving the taxi and literally jumping out of the taxi and going to the airport. At the airport, I get out of the taxi. I'm drowsy because you have a big sleep and when it's like huge traffic. And the taxi driver drove off, and I'm like, "Oh fuck, where's my camera bag? Oh, it's in the car." I tried calling the airport, going, "Oh, can you show us the CCTV?" Blah blah blah. We don't have CCTV, sir. And I'm like, "What? You're telling me?" Ninoy Aquino International Airport. The airport where the president gets shot, they still don't have CCTV to this day. Fucking full of shit. So anyways, I don't know what happened there because they just wouldn't give me any good answers. So I end up just losing that. Got to Australia and I'm like, how can I get back into the market?
So
ask my same friend.
You're with your sister. At this point,
my wife. My wife.
No, I'm saying you're with your wife, but you go live with your other sister in Australia.
No. My sisters are all in the Philippines.
Okay. Oh, and one of them is running the VIP stays.
Yeah, they're running VIP stays in the Philippines.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Right.
So end up getting to Australia, and I'm thinking, how can I get back in the industry? I know. I'll lend another $500 from my mate. Same mate. He gave me
5,000.
No, 500 this time.
Oh, only 500.
Only 500. I'm like, what can I do? And I found an app called Airtasker, right? And I was like, okay, I could do cleaning because I found like you could like get cleaning jobs. It's kind of like Craigslist, but it like a really advanced app where you can like scout for jobs. Probably you guys have Airtasker market as well. And I ended up picking up jobs left, right, and center using Airtasker. I just basically bought a vacuum cleaner. 2 weeks later, bought another vacuum cleaner, paid my mate back, and started cleaning multiple different properties. Found a mentor in Perth to clean her property, and I just learned a lot about hospitality from her. Her name's Maureen, and yeah, to this day we're really good friends. And she's a grand, what do you call it, godmother of one of my children. So yeah, and yeah, that's how I got back into the industry. Put my foot in the door this time with cleaning as opposed to photography. I still did photography. I started buying up camera equipment because I found that if I had these skills and used them all together in conjunction, synergistically, then it's going to help me propel the business further. Then all of a sudden, like my friends started getting interested in what I was doing, and they're like, "Oh, can we join the business?" Blah blah blah, and what a ride that was. So yeah, from 2015, it started getting pretty good. Up until 2018, I started having some troubles with my business partners, so I was preparing for the problems that was going to arise. Basically, started already creating automations in preparation of like, all right, if they're going to cause trouble and do some stupid stuff, might as well like sort myself out and make sure I can sustain when they're gone. So I did that, and I always traveled to try and see where the Airbnb market is going. So I always travel to Sydney and Melbourne. And going to Sydney and Melbourne, I could see that in the East Coast, there's always like a 2-year lag between that and the West Coast. So in Perth, it would be basically a 2-year delay before you start seeing the same changes that I would see in Melbourne and Sydney. I was like, great, this is good. The market's shifting. This is in 2019, by the way. And I'm like, okay. By this time, I was also going a little bit underwater because my biggest problem was I was borrowing from the future with my booking. I was using my money early rather than using it when I needed to. And that made me go underwater, gave me a bit of stress, and I should have learned from this mistake before it got worse. And that's what made me decide, okay, I'm going to get a hostel. So I picked up a hostel, dirt cheap. And I thought it was a great pivot because I ejected some of my units because my business partners wanted to split, so we just cut the units in half. I sold them their portion. And then COVID hit after we went on a holiday. Just as we come back from holiday, COVID hit. I'm like, fuck. So literally holding on to the hostel for an entire year, started making heaps of debt, and yeah, that didn't work out well. So yeah, try to save that ship, wasn't good. Marriage fall apart, everything was just fucking gone to shit. So I literally lost everything. 2022. So last year, started last year, basically split, and found myself standing on a ledge of a balcony, wanting to neck it, and I was like, whoa. I was just so upset because no one was responding to my texts. Like I texted like my ex-wife, my best friend, and my mom, and like all these people. And I found myself at a point where I'm like, hang on, why am I mad at other people for not responding the way I wanted them to? This is kind of manipulative. This is pretty fucked up. So I got off that ledge and I said to myself, all right, you know what, I'm going to start living for myself instead of other people. And that was one of the signs that sort of started making me really realize that shit, there's something out there that's telling me if I don't follow these signs, it's just going to get worse. So at this point, I'd already started working in the cinematography industry, like as a cinematographer and marketer. I started off, in the adult entertainment industry, weddings, corporate gigs, all these sort of things. I worked in multiple different industries as a cinematographer. Great fun, but it just wasn't there. And I sort of fell off. And had a lot of near-death experiences, and it was really, it got really bad that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna fuck it, I'm gonna move to Melbourne. End up moving to Melbourne, and the day that I arrived in the airport, that's when I converted to Islam, because the taxi driver was like really, you know, talking to me as if he really sort of knew me. I'm like, how the fuck do you know all this sort of stuff? And he's like, oh, if you say the Shahada, yada yada yada. And I sort of knew that I was going to become Muslim at some point. And as he's saying the Shahada, like I'm saying it too, and I feel like goosebumps, like all up and down my arms, and like, I feel like I literally found myself weeping, because like this weight was like lifted off my shoulders, and I sort of strayed away from God, whether it's you're Jew or you're Christian or Muslim. Like for me, I sort of always sort of strayed away from it.
Do you not recognize the 2 taxi moments in your life?
Oh, of course.
I mean, that's all I'm thinking the entire time you're telling me this story is these 2 massive taxi moments in your life.
Oh,
like
of course.
literally absolute movements. When you're literally moving, you're like, what in the going on, bro? Like, how? What? That's a movie, bro.
Thanks, Paul.
I mean, it really is. What an absolute like moment. Like a moment in your life. You move from one country to another. Your shit's stolen from you in a taxi. Nobody has pictures, no videos, no nothing. And
Pretty
then
much.
another moment in your life, you arrive somewhere, and in a taxi, this, call it light, is like slammed into your life, almost as this massive gift to you. Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Oh, that's not it. That's not the only. Man, there's so many more moments.
It's like, that's just the beginning.
Yeah, that's just the beginning. You wait till you hear the other stuff. So yeah, Melbourne. Oh, look, I love like all the different like experiences that I've had, but Melbourne was a hard city, and I just came to like resent my experience in Melbourne. Hey Mike, what's up? And oh fuck, Melbourne. Like it's a great city. Like if you're into that sort of cold, dark, dank, like concrete jungle, but I just didn't want a piece of it. So 2 months in,
necessarily the city. It's more like the idea of just the concrete jungle. Because Melbourne itself is a beautiful city on some levels. No.
Yeah, on some levels. I mean, there's things I can appreciate about it, but it's just the stress.
Right.
Concept.
Yeah. The concrete jungle. Being in New York nonstop, or wherever. That it's just
everyone's like just on their phones, and then fucking you gotta look left, right, and center. You gotta like fucking make sure you watch your back. Someone might fucking gank your shit. So yeah, there's that. And my friend, longtime friend, about 8 years, Conrad, he calls me up. He's in Germany, by the way, same time, and he's like, you know what, bro, I am sick and tired of Germany. It's cold, it's dank, it's dark, it's shit. I'm just so depressed with this weather. I want to fuck it. Do you want to come with me to Bali? And as he said this to me, and I'm like, bro, fuck this. I'm booking a ticket tomorrow. Let's go to Bali. So literally next day I booked a ticket back to Perth, stayed in Perth for a month, met up with Conrad, and we slogged it out at this crypto company, just sleeping on the floor in the office, homeless, because I was like literally just trying to work for another company that, you know, we weren't making too much. And I remember this moment. We're sitting on the steps, right? And these native Aboriginal guys are like looking at us, and what the fuck are they? Like they're looking at us like, who the fuck are they? Why are they like this? And me and Conrad look at each other like, man, we are in the worst position ever. This time next year we got to be out of this place. So we end up leaving Perth together and got to Bali. Fucking just things just started picking up. It was a bit trialing the first couple of months, but yeah, it started turning good. Yeah. Sold a lot of my gear. Sold a lot of my cinematography gear. I was carrying around 30 kilos in Melbourne of like lighting, fucking stands, camera equipment. I was literally, you'll see me with a cart. I've got like photos and stuff of it. And yeah, I ended up just selling most of it and kept some of the lighting and just sort of reduced all the sizes. And I sold my camera equipment and just using an iPhone, which is what I'm filming on now. Yeah, iPhone 14 Pro.
So because of the way technology's moved so quickly, and now we can do so much with our phones and AI apps and this, that, and the other, you've been able to gear down, but also at the same time keep the same style of business and keep the same revenue flow, if not making more money now than you have been before. And now you've moved to Bali. You're like out in the. So where are you within the confines of like that area? Where like do you live out in the outskirts? What's your life like? Like what's your daily
in Bali?
Your daily go? Like what do you do on a daily, and how does that whole thing?
Oh, there's a lot to unpack there. Firstly, sort of to answer your question, locality-wise, there's a number of places. Most people start off with Kuta. Kuta is like a tourist destination, and that's really people who are like families who've got no idea what they're doing. They just come there and then that's it. Then you've got 65 plus single males that they live there because it's a red light district, and that's what they're used to. If they're not settled, if they are settled, they'll end up going to Sonora. But then there's the demographic of Seminyak, which is like the 40s plus, 35s plus, and that's like the party hub. And then you've got Canggu, where it's like the entrepreneurial hub of Bali. And a lot of entrepreneurs come to Canggu just to really thrive, whether you're a health coach, whether you're if you do real estate, crypto, remote sales, cinematography, marketing, whatever, you can find any niche and really start to hone in on what you're doing, And that's why I came here, because I also wanted to do martial arts, boxing, Muay Thai, Filipino martial arts, and just really find my tribe here. And it's good. It's a place where you can, like, literally, I could just go on holiday on the weekend, just go trip 1 hour, and it's like we get to see nature, as opposed to I concrete jungle every week. So yeah, to answer you fiscally, I'd actually wanted to move out of the cinematography space for a long time because I hated chasing clients for like $5-6 grand at a time, because it's like fucking such small money. Thanks.
Chris says, amazing story of survival and success. You've stayed true to grinding for success. I'm enjoying your story.
Oh, thanks, beautiful. So yeah, I mean, everyone's like has their sort of story, and with cinematography, it was really just a lifeline, and realizing that my talent lies in real estate and networking, and really starting to know people. And like, when I first started seeing you online, I have no idea what I think I see. Maybe it was like ClickFunnels or something. But we connected.
We met through Jeffrey Kramer, also known as the Funnel Doc. I think I'll tag Jeff here. I think that's our mutual friend.
Possibly, yeah. Funnel Doc.
And so I believe what happened was, where Jeffrey? Jeff, where is he? No, wait, come on, man.
I don't think he's online anymore. I haven't seen his.
Oh no, man! Come on, we have him as a friend both right now. Like if you go look at your, I can't do it right now. I don't know why it's not popping up, but yeah, man. Do you know the Funnel Doc, right?
Yeah. I know Funnel Doc. Yeah.
Yeah, so he then created an NFT project with it was the llamas, and honestly, that project could have taken off really well and done really well, but a lot of the people who got involved jumped out at the last second, and man, it went downhill. But nonetheless, I met him, we connected, and then somewhere along the way, through posts of his, you and I connected, and then I've been following your journey ever since, and you've been following mine ever since. And that's kind of where we are today. Yeah.
So just to sort of cycle back a little, in the last 8 months, I'd actually sort of been struggling financially, especially because every man and his dog does cinematography. Trying to do that here in Bali is just fucking. So I ended up calling a long-time client of mine, multimillionaire, Calvin Coils, and I was like, "Oh, Cal, hey, can I get a job with you?" Because I ended up getting Conrad, my housemate, a job. So he's like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" Chucks me onto one of his companies, and I ended up doing fairly decently. But it's a company about real estate. And Jeff Vanek, there we go. Yep. So it's a company about real estate. They teach real estate education, the difference between real estate investing and real estate trading, right? And they teach you how to do trading. And I was like, okay, hang on, this is stuff that I've learned like years ago, like 2011 type years ago. So I end up saying to myself, you know what, I'm going to try and do this course myself. I end up going, like, flying to the Gold Coast, trying the course. I was like, oh shit, this is fucking really good. Did another one back in Perth, same event, cost around about $3,000 roughly. And I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going for the top tier. End up going to the top tier, completely changed my outlook, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to quit my remote work sales. So I end up like spending all the money that I had, and I was short like $1,500, and it was really weird because I was telling my mom, look, I'm like short like X amount of money, and she's like, oh, don't worry, just leave it up to God, and we'll find it. We'll find the money. We'll get something right. Literally the next day, my mom calls me up crying. She's like, you know what, I was just looking through my clothes the other day. She found like fucking $1,800 in, stashed away in an envelope somewhere. And I'm like, oh, you beauty. This serendipity. So yeah, she helped me out there. I was absolutely amazed.
Wow.
And yeah, ultimately it was because of, I think having that belief that God has my back has really sort of changed my outlook. So there's that. End up going to the Hunter Valley to do this course. 7 days intensive. Like imagine 14 hours, like cooped up in a room. We're playing games and we're like trying to understand real estate, and we're like doing all this emotional stuff. It's like, think of like a Tony Robbins event mixed with something to do with like a Robert Kiyosaki event. So it's really a lot of character building as well as talking about real estate. So we did that. Broke some like wooden boards, broke an arrow on my throat, did all this like stuff that sort of like helps give me a complete mental shift. Yeah. Pretty fun. Yeah, we didn't do the firewalking though. We didn't do that.
You didn't do the firewalking.
No. And we didn't dance naked in front of Big Al statues. So.
Oh, okay.
It was cultish.
So this is just like all recent, so recent in your life, like within the last So
March, April, May, June, July. Yeah.
So where are you at now with where you are, with what you're doing and what you're creating, and what's like the next steps for you?
So it's really weird that we've sort of really connected recently, because having gone through this entire spiritual journey and just quit my work doing remote appointment setting, I kind of got frustrated with the program that I was, because I wasn't solving certain problems that I needed to get done before I could do what they wanted me to do. So I reached out to my old mentor, and long story short, he ended up helping me with a problem, and I ended up banking like 10K straight off the bat because because I was able to sell, my existing units. And I was like, fuck, this is really good. After he got a whiff of me doing this, he's like, you know what, fuck this. I'm going to fly down from Thailand to come stay with you and mentor you personally. And I'm like, I didn't realize it was going to be like this. He was just like, hey, I'm coming down next week. So he flies down from Thailand. And like the whole entire last week I spent with him, he's just given me full-blown shifts every single day, like starting to layer all the things that helps me change my mindset and get me laser focused. So yeah, Rick's been an amazing, like I just spent the last, I don't know, 8-10 hours with him today, and going to start doing some write-ups for some things. Yeah. And I've been in rooms in the last 7 days with multimillionaires and just connecting them all, because these are all people that I've served in the past, and I'm just like, hey, by the way, I'm in Bali, my mentor's here, would you like to come and meet him? So people have booked flights and they're heading on the way here, or they've done Zooms, and it's fucking mental, man. Whenever I introduce him to someone, for some reason something happens and they're like, oh, Rick Houghton, oh, dude, we were just talking about you. Oh, man, I've heard so much about you. And I'm like, oh, shit, he's much more famous than I thought. So, people give him praise, and I'm like, I'm kind of thankful for his tutelage.
Wow. So, okay. So now, like, what an amazing, like, what a journey, bro. What an absolute, like, but like also the resilience of you, like in everything, like you didn't care what it took. Like you're willing to clean, you're willing to do fucking real estate, take pictures, fucking run, jump, whatever, just to get to the next thing, to just get to the next thing. And then it shows that, someone saw something, which is obviously Rick, who's now in your life, right? And then and this change that you've made, and this, what a story, bro, Chris. All right, so what are you doing now? Like now that you're doing this whole thing, what are your thoughts that you want to build? Are you like creating a whole new like package deal of Chris, and you're going to go out there and market you, or are you like planning on some other kind of twist and just be the guy behind the scenes? Like, what's your goals?
So in the last, I don't know how many weeks, I've realized a lot about who I am as a person, and understanding me from being like I like to be a specialist in almost fucking everything. I will tear down whatever it is and strip it down to its core processes, and then build it back up to so that it's really, really efficient. Some might call me a mechanic in some ways, right? And or a tinkerer. And by being this type of person has also made me become a generalist, because I can specialize in each thing and then take away from that and then go, okay, now I know about this, I understand this on its core level, and then I can move to the next thing. And then I can see the bridge between all of this, whereas some entrepreneurs, they just I'll pick this, and this, and then everyone else can feel this. I like to really specialize into each different thing. And I couldn't really understand this. And then this coupled with the fact that I talk to a lot of people, I network, and I like to see what people's specialties are and where their dreams and goals lie. Because if I find that if I can help them along their dream, have you ever seen the One Piece live action anime or live action TV series, Netflix?
What's it called?
One Piece. It's just newly released.
No, I don't think so.
When you get the chance to, freaking amazing. So Luffy is this.
Yeah, send me a link or put it in the comments if you have time.
Definitely. So, long story short, Luffy is this type of character where he's a great leader. And when you watch and observe how he talks to people, he just sits and he watches, and he starts going, okay, this is this person's dream. I want to help you on your dream. And it's he can see people's shining talents, and taking away from that, I'm like, fuck, that's exactly what I do. I see what people want to do, and I want to help them along the way. And if my goals align with his, then so be it. So, you know, meeting so many people in the last, I don't know how many months, has just been phenomenal, and being able to connect them. That's where I'm learning to sharpen that sword, by being that person who finds the thing that people want, and putting them to with those people who can help them get what they want.
Dope. So that's it. So you've it's the ultimate message in the end, right? That through your own trials and tribulations, you want to help other people not have to go through those same trials and tribulations, so that they can succeed, and in turn help people get to the next phase in their life. Right? Yeah, man. Yeah. So,
and it's really learning how to monetize that is the key thing. It's like, how do you monetize that? And that's whether it's like putting in a contract, well, hey, if I hook you up with this, and just really being clear on your outcome, you know, without burning the bridge, is really something that's the next step in the journey.
right.
Just learning how to do that.
Right. So yeah, so I guess for those who want to kind of find you, or because my biggest question, I guess, is like, what is it that you're wanting to like serve to others now? Like, do you like? Is there a course that you're going to build off of the people that you're meeting and the things that are going on?
Yeah. So I have no intention of being a life coach or setting up a course, right? But I do like teaching people. Right now, what my focus is helping people get out of their property transaction or business transactions that they have problems with, and we come up with a solution. So I'll go through, like, people will text me, oh, hey, I've got this problem, and then I'll be like, okay, we can do this to fix it up. Whether it's like their house, they want to sell their house, but they can't sell it, or someone wants to buy a property, but they've got no funds for it. There's creative ways to do this, and this is what Rick teaches, and this is something that I've been learning a lot. When I first started learning from Rick, I learned because I couldn't purchase property because of my bad credit history. But learning that you can actually get into the market without using your own money, with no money down, you're able to enter the property market without needing to go to a bank, and start to use creative ways to enter property. And you can make a lot of money through property trading as opposed to property investing, because a lot of people think, I want to get into property, but I can't because you need money to make money. Now, this is true, but this is only true for investment. It's not necessarily true for property trading, because ultimately all you're doing is using OP, which is other people's money. Creating, unique contracts where you find the buyer, you find the seller, taking control of the property, and then selling the property straight away together at the same time. Things like this. This is stuff that we teach, and stuff that we do for clients. Ultimately, we can teach it, but most people want that whole hold-handing experience, and that's what we do. We hold people's hands through the entire experience until they're ready to start doing it themselves. Rick's a really generous guy. He'll do a deal with you. It's like, okay, let's go 50-50 on the deal. We'll sell the property, right? But what I want you to do is go and purchase my program. So he's got a $10,000 euro or $10,000 course. I want you to purchase it, but I want you to take the receipt, because it's going to be credited back to you when we do our first transaction, and it'll come out of my pocket, not yours as a client. So effectively, I'm paying you for your education. And yeah, I'll close the deal for you. You don't have to do like all the nervous stuff. You just have to find the deal and then bring it to me, and then I'll close it, and then bang, it's free money for you. So that's the entire sort of process, and it's such a beautiful, beautiful process, because it's like a lot of courses.
Sorry, go ahead. Good.
A lot of courses, you're like sort of left to your own devices, and no one really helps you. This is what I really love about Rick. He actually helps. He helped me through the entire process. He helped me through the entire process with this other deal that I had on the table. So.
Right. So if somebody wants to find you, internet-wise, I already put links and stuff, but is there like somewhere in particular that you post more often than not?
I mean, yeah, Instagram, or the link tree is like basically where you find all my other socials. But the Instagram, this is where I post most of my social stuff, and then I communicate through there. Otherwise, it's the Facebook profile, not the one that we're having a chat on, but it's the one that says my name, Chris Keele. So, yeah, that one's good too.
So, dude, Chris, I want to say thank you very much for being on the show today, bro. I really appreciate your time and your energy, and what an amazing, absolute, like, ridiculous journey, bro. What, like, whoa, you know? I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for, like, all the things that are happening, the people that are coming in to meet your mentor, and what's going on now, and, like, bro, what an absolute journey, dude. What a great story. Again, thank you. And thank you for coming on.
Not a problem. Likewise, Paul. And Paul, like, listen, what you've got going on here is absolutely amazing, and I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to, be really candid online and being able to tell my story. And thanks, guys, for watching.
Yeah, Chris came in and says, thank you for your time and have a fabulous, blessed day. And yeah, man, we'll see you soon. And thank you, brother.
All right. See you guys.
Later. Bro. Oh my God. Like, what a story. What an absolute story, man. What a journey. So good. So good. Like, I mean, how much of, like, don't give up could you hear? I mean, like, the entire thing was like, don't give up, don't give up, don't give up, you know? And no matter what's going on, I'm sure whatever happens, don't give up. That's the story here. Wow. Guys, thank you. Thank you, and thank you, and thank you, and thank you, and thank you. Listen, please go out into the world, do something nice for somebody else. And if you can't, do something nice for yourself. It does start from you. Number two, don't get caught up in all the crazy stuff that's going on in this world, because if you do, then, oh my God, what's going to go on, bro? You know, number three, please like, share, subscribe, send this out to somebody who wants to see it. My set's falling apart. It was raining. Anyways, guys, I love you. I thank you. I really do. This is what a journey, what a story we're putting together here. Chris, thank you again for this episode, and to everybody who watches now, later, and number three, please like, share, subscribe, send it out to somebody who wants to see it, and lastly, I love you all, and I will see you all on the other side.